You're standing in your living room, staring at the glowing screen of an evening news broadcast. The anchor's voice is steady, but the words send a chill down your spine. Heightened tensions, military deployments, nuclear capabilities. You're suddenly aware of the fragile web that holds our world together. Would only take one thread snapping to plunge us into World War III? And if that happened, what would be left standing when the dust settled? This question looms over us. And today we're going to explore what a third world war might mean for society as we know it. First, let's face one of the most terrifying possibilities: nuclear warfare. Since 1945, the specter of nuclear conflict has haunted global relations. The bombs dropped on Hiroshima and Nagasaki illustrated just a fraction of the devastation nuclear weapons can cause. Today, 9 countries possess these weapons, with thousands of warheads ready to launch at a moment's notice. In a nuclear exchange, entire cities could disappear in a flash, and the immediate loss of life would be staggering. But the destruction wouldn't stop there. Fallout, radioactive particles released into the atmosphere, would drift far from the detonation sites, spreading radiation sickness and contaminating food and water supplies. The prospect of a nuclear winter, where soot and ash from massive fires block sunlight, could lower global temperatures for years, devastating agriculture worldwide. So, if nuclear war breaks out, surviving the initial blast is just the beginning. The longer-term effects could unravel society faster than we can imagine. Now, some of you are wondering if this devastation can be avoided. After all, we've skirted close to nuclear conflict before. The Cuban Missile Crisis in October 19th, 1962 saw the world teetering on the edge, but diplomacy prevailed. Could it save us again? The truth is, while major powers have strategies to prevent escalation, the risk of human error or miscalculation remains. Combine high tensions with today's speed of communication, and the margin for mistake is terrifyingly slim. So, how could society continue under such pressure? Here's the part many might overlook: the impact on global infrastructure. Modern society relies on a complex network of systems: electricity grids, internet cables, transport routes, and more. These systems are interlinked, and a significant disruption could cause a domino effect. Cyberattacks, increasingly part of warfare, could cripple critical infrastructure without a single bomb dropping. Imagine waking up to a world without power, communication, or running water. In this scenario, what would survival look like? Communities would face challenges akin to going back in time, relying heavily on local resources and skills just to meet daily needs. But here's the thing: conflict doesn't only destroy, it also transforms. The Second World War accelerated technological advancements like radar, nuclear energy, and the development of computers. Post-war, countries rebuilt and societal roles changed. Women entered the workforce in unprecedented numbers. So, while the immediate aftermath of World War III could be devastating, the human spirit's resilience might bring unexpected adaptations and growth. The challenge would be to harness that potential in a world where resources are scarce and the threat of further conflict lingers. Yet, there's another layer to consider: the psychological impact. Imagine living under constant threat, unsure if the next day will bring peace or devastation. Studies show prolonged exposure to such stress can lead to widespread mental health issues, affecting everything from personal relationships to workforce productivity. As society grapples with physical rebuilding, it would also need to heal the invisible scars, fostering a sense of hope and security in a world that feels precarious. Now, think about the socio-political ramifications. War reshapes power structures and ideologies. Nations that emerge intact might see shifts in governance, with authoritarian regimes gaining ground under the guise of maintaining order. History shows that conflict breeds extremism, as people search for simple explanations and scapegoats. So, alongside rebuilding physically, society would need to prioritize tolerance and cooperation to avoid sinking into cycles of hatred and revenge. Let's pivot to something promising hidden in this grim forecast: the potential for global unity through shared adversity. During World War II, The formation of the United Nations represented a groundbreaking commitment to preventing future conflicts. Faced with a new war, humanity might once again find common ground, collaborating on crisis management, resource sharing, and peacekeeping efforts. This very cooperation could redefine borders not just geographically, but in hearts and minds. But cooperation isn't guaranteed. Scarcity and fear often breed competition, and isolationist tendencies could rise as countries focus on their own survival. The struggle between these two paths, unity and division, would shape the post-war landscape. Mass migrations, another likely consequence, could exacerbate tensions or potentially lead to cross-cultural exchange and understanding, depending largely on how well governments and societies work together. How does this tie back to you? Just think about your daily life. Every aspect, from the food you eat to the technology you use, is part of a global puzzle. A major war could disrupt these connections, challenging you to adapt in ways you never imagined. Yet, the potential resilience and ingenuity of individuals and communities could surprise us. The truth is, the survival of society in the event of World War III would depend heavily on our capacity to adapt, cooperate, and find meaning in chaos. Those who came before us faced world-altering challenges, and their responses reshaped the world. Our generation might face a similar test. The question is, will we rise to the occasion? In the heart of every potential tragedy lies an opportunity for a new beginning. The seeds of destruction often carry the possibility of renewal. If society can survive the horrors of another world war, it might emerge transformed, having learned that our shared humanity is the most vital lesson of all. The paths we choose now in preparation for such an eventuality could redefine what it means to be human for generations to come. Are we ready to decide what happens next? Only time will tell, but the choice is ultimately ours to make.